Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you look at the track record Biden and Kamala have, there are some things you can point to, some triumphs, but the issue on voting rights is critical. I mean, this is the fundamental thing that our country is built on. This is the bedrock of our democracy, and it's under attack, and it's been under attack, and they've stood by and done absolutely nothing. And so it would have been a better start to 2022 had he have done something versus give a speech, but baby steps. Hopefully, this is like a first step of a broader plan here for 2022. But I mean, it feels like a digression when you look at everything that John Lewis fought for in terms of voting rights and how far backwards we've gone from that. It's sad, and it's an insult to his legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that said, hold tight, everybody. Like it or not, is about to go down. I stole James' line.
You did, you son of a sucker.
Y'all know what time it is. Good morning, y'all. Get your coffee, your tea, bring me drink, whatever it is you need. It's time for Like It or Not, y'all. 9 a.m. to 10:30, yeah. Like It or Not is on your channel, yeah. Politics and culture ish, we change scan like we supposed to, yeah. Interviews and all the news, we get to choose what gets the views. Like It or Not with Queen Azor, get started now, so stick around. Like it or not, it's gone.
Now Ear Hustler calling me Trey Wrongs.
Like it or not,
I'm screaming.
Rebecca's on, it's coming through. You know she got a good story for you. Oh, Benjamin, that's my dog. This is his show. He's a politics bro. I am your DJ exclusive.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know who I am.
Right, David.
Let's take them jams. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not.
Oh my gosh. Latif said Malia just bust out singing this yesterday morning and it wasn't even playing. If y'all don't know, that's Latif's daughter.
Like it or not, this is about to go down.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it. Good morning, Georgia.
Good morning.
See, I was here for about 45 minutes, so I don't even know why my screen.
The lies.
To be honest.
The lies.
Well, come on here and really take it there. But I don't know why my screen had to be the one that was off, because I was sitting here for about 45 minutes. Enough time.
Girl.
That's just where I'm at.
Real
You were
quick
sitting
though,
there,
real
and
quick.
I set you in a place, and then you moved. So, and then I see that you moved right when we come back on screen.
Because
Right when we come back on screen.
45 minutes. Being on Holla By, we're going to bring Rebecca in on this conversation. Well, where is she?
I could have brought you.
You got
up
up to get. Wait.
You ain't responsible.
Wait.
I had you ready.
Now listen.
She
if I
said she
got
was
you,
getting tea.
I was going to put that on the screenshot. James,
Go ahead and
I was going to
I
screenshot
said
where she said she had to go get some tea.
15 minutes after you said you are bringing me in the conversation, that's when I said I was getting tea. But here we are. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning. Georgia, I absolutely love your earrings. Those are gorgeous.
Thank you.
We have a lot for you guys on Like It or Not show. I do want to get into that conversation, though. with Joe Biden and his comments, because we know, and Cliff Albright said it best for all of us. We all feel that way. And for those of you who are upset that we are not in line, we are not believers of Joe Biden's comments, we want to see actions and we want to hold him accountable, you guys can go kick rocks, because we had a whole year of this man and there has been nothing, no follow-up. After we've been screaming about these voting rights. And there's nothing. There has been nothing that he said pertaining to it, him and Kamala Harris. So this is where, it's going to be a little fiery when we get to that conversation, because I got a lot to touch on with that as well. Shout out to Cliff Bright for that. But we have an interview today with
She's about to boot all of us off the screen, y'all.
No, I'm not. I'm actually not.
It's fine.
But if you guys want to stay, you can stay. But we do have an interview this morning with the Georgia Haitian. Chamber of Commerce. I'm looking at it right now, and Saurel, he's a friend of mine, and he is somebody who I've worked with or worked alongside at other Haitian events here in Atlanta, It's beautiful to have this kind of association here, this kind of organization here to bring together Haitians. And they have a policy agenda that they've been working on. And I can't wait for him to come and have that conversation for everybody who's in Georgia to, be enlightened on what they're doing for Haitians here. I know I talk about it all the time. And I know I've held a lot of leaders accountable, last year for not even knowing the Haitians in the community. But this organization definitely, is here to assist and actually has plans for the future here in Georgia when it comes to Haitians. So
nice.
I would love to bring him on.
That's what's up.
Is he in the cut?
Well,
there he is. Okay. Good morning, Saurel. How are you?
I am fantastic this morning. I'm so happy to be on the Ben Dixon Show, and certainly delighted to be in the company of Rebecca Azor. Oh, come on.
Said my last name correctly, okay?
Not Azer.
wait, you are not going to have this man from the Chamber of Commerce coming on the show cracking on my accent now.
Listen.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Glad to have you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
So there's so much that we can touch on, especially when it comes to your organization. First and foremost, introduce yourself to the audience. Let them know who you work with and what you guys do.
Good morning, folks. My name is Saurel Quettan. I too am from Haiti, and I'm a proud representative of the Georgia Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, and currently serving as the chair of their board development committee. And I always introduce myself this way. I am the promise that Haiti is a developed nation in my lifetime. I mean that. The Georgia Haitian American Chamber of Commerce and myself, we stand to work for that and to live it today. Not like Haiti's going to become a developed nation when we die. No. It is a developed nation today, and it's a weird way of looking at it. And I want to share a little bit of what that tastes like with you and the audience today.
So when you say that it's a developed country today, because a lot of people like to look at it as an undeveloped country, a country, of course, that we've seen how they, describe it all over the media in many ways as the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. When they say Haiti, that's the first thing that is, that describes Haiti on every media platform, even when it comes to print. So what do you say about that? Because that doesn't align the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere and a developed country. What do you mean by that?
Well, we're here to debunk that notion, okay? Being a developed country, in my mind, has nothing to do with the circumstances. Big, tall buildings, big highways, lots of money. No, it starts right here. And the Georgia Haitian American Chamber of Commerce seeks to create a developed nation in the minds of everyone regarding Haiti. And we're doing that in a very concerted way here in Atlanta. And I'd love to share that with you. And it's connected directly to the policy agenda. you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So this policy agenda and the plans that the organization has, I know that me and you spoke before, and I was telling you how I think was very problematic that a few leaders, even in a place of Cobb County, a few leaders in these areas in Atlanta and the metro areas in Atlanta don't really have the knowledge of the Haitian community, or in their policies have nothing that relates to immigrants. It's nothing that can actually assist them when it comes to educating them on, how to vote, or, how to get access to resources that can assist them to reading, or all kinds of things to get them aligned and assimilated here in the city of Atlanta. So, I know that we talked about that and it was frustrating for me, but hold this policy agenda that you guys have created, I think will also hold these leaders accountable. So can you talk a little bit about that policy agenda?
When people vote, it's somewhat offensive when people who are running for office, I don't care what ideology they follow or what race or creed they fall in, it's offensive to me when they're pandering to us with sound bites. So in the context of creating the policy agenda, we start with a developed nation in mind. And I say that when we hear people from Haiti exercise our leadership through our vote, then through our effort, Haiti becomes a developed nation. So we created this agenda. It's got 5 points. It's really simple. And the idea is this, that given our numbers, the Haitian community is really poised to exercise its power through active participation in the political process. And active participation for us looks a certain way. It doesn't look like we're listening to candidates and figuring out whether or not they're telling us what we want to hear. We go to the candidates, we go to our community, and we say ahead of time, here is what we want. And what we want is outlined in a very easy to read 5-point, one-page policy agenda focusing on the following broad areas. 1, economic development. 2, affordable housing. Then immigration, education, and last but not least, healthcare. I'll read just 1 point in the agenda, and we'll hang on to that one, okay? Immigration. We want candidates, elected officials, to provide immigrants, including farm workers and factory workers from Haiti and the Caribbean and other countries, black, brown, yellow, you name it, with a path to adjust their immigration status and protect them from exploitative working conditions. Now, when we go talk to a candidate, we don't tell them, hey, tell me what you stand for. No, we say our agenda and we interview them like we're interviewing them for a job. Are you someone who's going to have the guts and the spine to stand for that? And when you can demonstrate that you can stand for that, well, guess what then? We jump in. And we exercise our 3-point approach. We educate the community about you. We mobilize the community behind you. And we participate not just with our voice, but we participate with our talent, our time, and our dollars.
Sure.
Yes. So what does that look like here locally, to push that? I know that you said we're going to, we, especially us going to challenge them like a job interview, them being the prospective leaders, in these areas of Metro Atlanta. But what does that look like for this group to go ahead and push that towards them? Because me and you talked about this. On paper, they'll have immigration, but it's way down at the bottom of the list. And it's like, okay, so how how are immigrants supposed to be able to, join in on voting efforts or because you can't just come to them when it's the day before you're voting or when it's the day to say, okay, if I'm your leader, this is what I would do for you. And as soon as you get that seat, you forget about that whole community. You don't even know what the majority of the immigrants, where they're coming from in your particular city. So when you say we go up to them and hold them accountable, and you also said we go and mobilize and let, immigrants know, because that to me, that's great, who you are as a person. Would that be also if when you're asking the leaders questions and they tell you things that are not benefiting immigrants, are we going to also, tell the immigrants, hey, this leader is not what you want. They're not looking for your, in your best interest, to help them understand that, because some of these leaders are very predatory in a way where, immigrants are taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? So those points that you did just name are beautiful. But in that moment, are we going to, once we know what we know about a certain leader or a candidate, will we be responsible as Haitians to go and inform those immigrants about that, bad or good?
Yeah, absolutely. And the kind of accountability you're talking about begins way before the election. Mm-hmm. It starts by us educating ourselves to know who's running, so we can go after them. And it takes work. It takes us working to create rallies, town halls, face-to-face meetings, one-on-one interviews to actually communicate the agenda, not just to our community, but to the candidates. And then once they're elected, it takes us working behind the scenes, one-on-one with them, visiting the candidates in their offices, watching what policies they're enacting, what laws they're voting for, and holding them accountable. Now, we may vote for you today, but guess what? If your performance demonstrates that you're not standing for the agenda, we won't vote for you next. And now what does have power is the fact that we here in the Haitian community number more than 100,000, both documented and undocumented. You know what? Most elections nowadays are won by thousands of votes. We, the Haitian people, in partnership with our Caribbean brothers and sisters, are vowing to vote as a bloc. We're vowing to vote as a bloc according to this agenda. So yes, we are going to hold them accountable. Yes, we are going to speak truth to them. And yes, we're going to raise hell when they're not doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I wanted to hear, because, there are particular groups who, because the connection in the community or the celebrity of the leadership of the candidate, right? The leader, the candidate, the celebrity of the candidate, but they're afraid to step on their toes in the community. They don't want to, be blacklisted or whatever, in the community, because this leader, is a celebrity, so they, a lot of people don't want to hold those people accountable, but I like to hear that. And especially coming from a Haitian organization, like you said, women lie, men lie, but numbers don't lie. So with the growing number of Black immigrants coming into, especially the city of Atlanta, and specifically with the growing number of Haitians coming here, I want to be clear too about this. When I say immigrants, I'm really just talking about Black immigrants. When I say Black immigrants, at this particular moment, I'm discussing Haitian immigrants, because even if you call in places that assist Haitian immigrants, as I have done for my cousin who was under the border in Texas, they'll tell you for some reason, Haitian immigrants are treated the worst in immigration system, period. Black immigrants are treated at the bottom of the barrel, but the people who are treated the worst are Haitian immigrants for some reason. They're just treated terribly. So to have a policy agenda coming from a Haitian group, holding these leaders accountable, it really speaks. It really speaks to something. And we have to make sure we understand the difference too. When we say immigrants, particularly Black immigrants, all immigrants across the border, of course, we want to make sure we're fighting for them all. But we also want to make sure it's understood that Black immigrants get the worst treatment, have the least resources when they're coming here to America. So, yeah.
And I'm delighted that we're not just talking about it, We're putting our efforts, our muscle, our activities where our mouth is. And I also want to acknowledge, Rebecca, that this effort, what gives it teeth is that it's not just a local effort. In 2019, a group of 13 Haitian organizations across 12 states got together and worked on a broader federal policy agenda. And we in Georgia are leaning and standing on the shoulders of what's called the HAV. It's the Haitian American Voters Coalition, led by a lady named Vanessa Joseph. So we want to acknowledge that organization for not only being the catalyst, but being the organization that's been sustaining this movement for years now. So kudos to them, and kudos to you for connecting this initiative with the Ben Dixon Show and giving it the voice that you're giving it now.
No problem, sir. I really, really appreciate you coming on. And I know that the organization is growing. You guys have added my friend Abs Petit onto your team.
Oh my God, no. Yes. Do not say Abs Petit. You know, petite in our language means small, but man, this lady's huge.
Yeah, she's huge.
So there is no petite in that Abs, okay?
I'm happy that you guys have her on your team. I know she's going to bring something really, really good, spice it up. I know she's going to be that for you guys. Like you said, her last name might be Petite, but she is a big, huge personality.
She's a huge human being. Yeah. And, and so is the rest of the team. I'm really proud that to say that I am the old fart on the team.
That's all right, because you're still looking good. You know what I'm saying? They say black don't crack, but Haitian, I don't know. But Haitian is something about being Haitian. It just keeps you nice and glowing, and you are. So that you are.
If you had a rhyme in your back pocket for
Thank you so much for coming on.
Hang on. Hang on. Before you go, because I get the sense that this may be over or ending, and I love being here with you guys. Right? So, this group of young people, led by the creativity of Abigail Petitfrère, are staging this thing in May around Haitian Flag Day called Zochella.
I love that. So Abby. That is so Abby.
Okay.
Now, I'm just making a plug. I'm not going to tell you more about it. What you've got to do is get Abs on here with me and the rest of the team, and we're going to rock you with this dream come true. A festival in Atlanta commemorating Haitian culture, everything great about Haiti, and immersing people in Haitian culture in a way that no event ever does. That's what's coming in May, guys.
Okay, so absolutely. So listen, we're gonna make sure that we invite, like it or not, over, because I'm inviting myself, and I got friends over there anyway. So
I was about to invite myself
make sure
too.
That I invite the crew,
Ben.
And we get some footage, and we make sure we bring it here. But thank you so much. Let them know where they can find you, find more information about the organization. Let them know.
You can find the Georgia Haitian American Chamber of Commerce by simply Googling that or going to GAHCCI.org, or you can call me directly, 404-735-2519.
Y'all,
man, I wouldn't be giving out my number on the internet
for no reason. Don't say that number.
Oh man, I've got a screening program that works like a charm.
Okay. All right. That's it. Sir, it was definitely a pleasure meeting you.
And I promise to be accessible.
Yes, and I believe it. So thank you so much. We will definitely talk, because I want to hear more about the plans that you guys have. And anytime you need me, just give me a call. I let you know that before. Give me a call, whatever I can do to assist and help to further push this movement, because I believe in this policy agenda and holding these future leaders accountable. Love you, meet it, and we'll see you next time.
Pleasure.
I honor you guys. Ben,
thank you so much.
James, thank you. Rebecca, until next time, okay?
Until next time. Have a good morning.
Rebecca. Azor. Sorry, I I couldn't resist.
There you go.
How you get a guest coming on my show? I don't care about nothing. I ain't pay attention to nothing. I listen to every word. Excellent interview, Rebecca.
Yeah.
And way to like.
Why is he so perfect in the face? Because he's Haitian. Okay. Why is his skin glowing? Why was his teeth so white? Why was his what was it?
He was fabulous. He was fabulous. He was like he's kind of old man I aspire to be. I want my hair to be that clean when I get that age.
That salt and pepper was off the chain. I was like, okay,
yeah.
It was perfect.
Like, I got a little competition. Okay.
And not like a distinguished gentleman of a certain age present themselves and speaking truth to power. So yeah, no, it was great connecting and meeting with him. Where did you meet him at that same event where you went and you gave everybody hell?
No, I read those people were filled outside of that. But I met him. I'm trying to remember. He actually contacted me, or I must have met. There's so many events that I've been at that he's been at as well. But we connected with each other, and he was so kind. And just telling me about the organization, and I've heard about it, and I've seen him, and I was getting him mixed up in the beginning when I first moved here with the restaurant owner that also is here, but he is very strong, and I've heard his name so many times, and then being able to meet him, I've actually met people who worked within the organization, and he's held town hall meetings. He's part of a group of people that I also know, so there's so many, like there's a group before us, and then there's us millennials, and then we got the Generation Z that's here, and everybody's doing their thing. But it's a great thing when these organizations can come together. And I think they're the only ones, if I'm not mistaken, here who are actually connected with this organization on like a state level. So they're connected here, and so for them to have this organization at a state level, a state-run level, that's great, because we don't have much Haitian organizations that's in that lane. So they have connections, and he's a great leader. And to me, he just added to my friend that I was talking about, Abs. That's what I call her, Abs. She like he said, she's a big like personality out here. She's actually done a lot of work as she's a stylist actually, and she's done work for so many different people. She did Brandy and T.Y. Savage's recent video for Somebody's Son.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, nice. So to have her here working on the team, it's beautiful, because it shows you how versatile we are, especially us millennials. We're very versatile. We can be here and we can be there, and especially representing as Haitian. So it's just like her to put her mind together as a stylist to come up with Zochella. That is brilliant, Ab. Look, if you are watching, that is brilliant. That is brilliant.
Yeah, that is brilliant.
I'm pulling up the Zochella. So long as we're done, moderately done with this pandemic, I'm going to pull up. But that sounds like something to be at.
It's ancestral for me, so I'm going to be covered. I'm just kidding. If people say
you better say that. I'll be covered too. I'm vaccinated 2 times over. Shit.
James said
I got a booster on top of a booster. I got wings back there. What's going on? Superpowers? Hell yeah, I'm going. I'm pulling up with you. I want to do a live remote or something. I'm going to take this camera out there with me. I'm just going to be walking around with it.
We're going. For sure.
I'm going to be Rebecca's cameraman for the weekend. I'm going to film Rebecca doing interviews.
Look, it's
on the scene with Rebecca Azor.
It's going to be more face down, ass up.
Yes.
It's going to be more waist winding.
That sound like the resort. Never mind. I was about to say that sound like the resort I went to. Never mind.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Rebecca, you go and enjoy yourself. I'll pull up with the camera. James, you go and enjoy yourself too, because it sounds like you got plans for Zochella. I'll pull up with a camera crew and we'll do the interviews, and we'll make sure not to get video of Rebecca with her face down, ass up.
Booted it, tooted and booted.
But that's you won't see most of that, depending on what song plays. But more waist winding. That's it's been a minute. I said on my Twitter the other day. I said to the people, I said, I recall the days where I used to pull up to the events, Guyad, which is winding your waist, on somebody's son, that I didn't even know his name, is passionate. Okay, and then I would do it with someone else, maybe 10 minutes, because about Haitian songs, 10 to 20 minutes long. After 10 to 20 minutes, I go to somebody else's son, and I do it too. And then, but after the night is over, I go home not knowing their names, not knowing their phone numbers, and all is well in my heart. And I miss those days so much. We used to sweat on each other, because it was passionate. We would dance.
The reaction's a little different when you say that.
Those days are over because I will refuse. I will not. Unless he's, somebody that I don't know. It's different.
We need to
but
get your
I can't
glands
do that
checked.
no
You're out there sweating on me on the dance floor in 2022. No, we're not. We can't.
Not get your glands.
And the sweat glands be active, bro.
What the hell?
The sweat glands be active on some folks, bro. And in this post-pandemic society, I just don't think I'm ever going to get back used to people sweating on me at a club, bro. I just don't think. Nah. Not the way they be sanitizing and keeping some of these. You got whole
I'm trying to think about
fungus growing at these places.
Like, I don't even know if I can go to a club anymore and actually if I'm not DJing and actually attend the club. I don't know, because just being out there, everybody dancing, I'm gonna be too scared with my cup in my hand at the bar like this, like.
Yeah. It just.
You know what? I'm going home.
It's actually the people for me who are out in the world, and I'm not even, trying to really judge you, but judge you a little bit, maybe a lot of it.
A lot of it, girl.
So it's the people who went out recently during the Omicron. There was a time where it looked like it was almost, just kind of, we were getting out of it.
It was leveling
Not
off?
really
Yeah.
getting out of it, but we were about 2% out of it. That was enough because we ain't been seeing no progress. Now, because people don't know how to be right in the United States of America. But something about Omicron sent people straight into the club, beelining for the door and to the hookahs. But
I'm gonna tell you what it was, Rebecca.
Marion was getting people just by you looking at him. It's crazy to me. It was ridiculous.
What they thought was, when they heard Omicron, they thought it was really Omarion. Oh, Omarion out there? Let me go ahead out there, girl. He was touching everybody. Touch, right?
Hey, do the Omarion challenge.
Was touching people, okay? But you didn't have to touch them. You look at them and you're sick. You're sick. It was ridiculous how much people were getting. No, it was the children. So now you going over there to go smoke hookah because y'all, you can't afford to buy more than buy two. So you buying one and you waiting. You be like, pass me the hookah. You're waiting.
Y'all sharing hookahs in this panorama.
And the hookah be by. Look, the hookah is like this big.
About that small.
And they're passing these hookahs. You're waiting for it because look, I got a hookah tip somewhere around here. But you're waiting for your tip, and you looking crazy. You're waiting for it, and you're looking crazy. And now, by the time it gets to you over here inhaling, a stranger's air.
Follicles.
I mean, can you switch out the tips?
But you switch out the tips. But when you blow into it to make the smoke come out to get it clean,
come out right, Rebecca.
Reduce the air that's toxic. You blow.
I forgot you were like a whole ass hookah barista. What is a hookah?
I'm a
hookahologist. Hookahologist, yeah.
Okay. I am.
A hookahologist.
I am that. That is me.
You're a hookah?
But no, seriously, it is hookahologist. You know what I'm saying?
Hookahologist.
But I be out the house. I be at the house as a hookah girl, and it just be me.
What was my flavor? I had the best flavor in the world.
Man, you had peach
mint, and
watermelon.
No, it was a melon. It was some kind of melon. It was peach.
It was
melon.
It was no regular melon.
It wasn't regular. It was regular melon.
Yeah,
that combination right there.
Didn't sound like a good combination.
I promise you, peach, mint, and melon is the baddest combination.
Peach mint, like Trump. Peach mint.
Yeah. Peach
That's so crazy, man. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got about 7 minutes before we cut over to the after party. Patreon.com/like it or not. Sign up today. It was really dope to see Olay become a patron of Like It or Not. I was like,
listen, she knows she had to become a patron. You know what I'm saying?
Olay.
She literally came on here and had such a good time, like she always does. Because who doesn't have a good time on the show? But she had such a good time, and she was just like, "Listen, I ain't never see so many." See how fast she can clip herself.
oh,
lady, clip herself and
damn. She be having clips up before we can even get them up. She be like, this is a good part.
Listen, I'm like, we just need her to work for our Like It or Not Instagram page so that we can have clips up too. So she's so fast.
She's so shady.
By the time
she's so shady, boy.
Hey, do we have the image from Mark from Australia? Like, we called it out yesterday, and I didn't know if he was even watching. But he put the meerkat on top of Fresh and Fit, bro. I'm like,
no, for real.
It was hilarious.
He put the meerkat on on top of those clowns, fresh and fit, and I was like, done.
So we do have 5 minutes, and I did want to touch on the Joe Biden situation just a tad bit since we have 5 minutes left. You know, I'd like to think that when people...
And we got all the clips, by the way, if you want them, but have at it.
Okay, so I'd like to think that when people are held accountable the first time, like when we first put them in that seat, presidential seat, with the first ambiguous woman in the United States as the vice president. So, you know, I felt like when we put them there and we held them accountable and we told them we're not gonna settle for this, we're not gonna take this, and we got slapped in the face because we didn't even really want them in that seat for real, but we had to make sure that the seat was not going to be taken over by, you know, the Trumps and them again. So having them there did some good things, and we, you know, flipping states blue, all that good stuff. But the thing is, a lot of the promises and policies that he dropped, right, that he was behind, that he was pushing his candidacy on. Is that a word?
Yeah,
but that he was pushing that with, you know, all of those things never happened, you know, and a lot of people be like, well, look what he did here. Look what he did here. Well, sis, you know, the reason why we really voted for him, because we thought that we would be clear on student loans. We thought that voting rights, you know, would be definitely challenged, and make sure that we put that on the front lines, make sure that we discuss how these voting rights and how you were in the middle of a voting rights scandal. You were in the middle of a voter scandal. Like they still saying you ain't president, and you did not put that at the top of your agenda. And now here we are, and you're saying that now this is something that you cannot stand by after we've been screaming it every day, after Cliff Albright and them been standing over there talking about how Governor Kemp and his friends and them have been literally disrespecting, putting barriers, dragged Park Cannon.
That's right.
Dragged her when he was signing the bill that was taking away people's rights to vote, particularly black people's rights to vote. Yeah. And you have the nerve to now, after all that time that they had to go through that, the people in different states marching daily, getting arrested about this particular issue. Now, after all of that time, after you done did your photo shoots in the middle of the hallways and the byways and the skyways and the highways, okay, with your little glasses on, after you done did all of that, now today, after all of that time, people are beaten bloody. Now you done came out of nowhere after your fresh sleep, after getting your colon cleansed, and you said today will be the day that I speak about voting rights. We need to discuss, you know, as I have these black people behind me, we need to discuss the fact that it's an issue, and let's now challenge the filibuster. Let's get that. We must do it today. There is no better time to do it than now. You done been in this seat. It's been warm. It's hot now. You done been in this seat. Okay. Now you decide to get up. And people have literally risked their lives all this time just trying to get you to hear, just trying to get you to make a statement, just trying to get you to have the conversation. And now you do it. So that's why people are weary of this all of a sudden you're coming out and speaking on this. That's why people like Cliff Albright, us, you know, are weary about it. We don't trust it. And that's okay that we don't trust it, because when we did put our trust in you, you did nothing. So we need to get it in writing. We need to see it. We need to make sure that this is promised to the people, that this will be something that you challenge, you fight, you make sure that, you know, voter suppression isn't a thing. Voting rights, who it's challenging. I need challenging.
Watch this, Rebecca.
I need you to say that with your mouth, but go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, watch this. He did something, but I want you to parse it. I got some checks. I got kids, though. So I got a couple checks. Then they ended it. They ended that. No, you know, we ain't getting those little checks anymore. But that's it. You know, I think we got 1,400 instead of the 2,000. Okay. I mean, there's some things. There's little piecemeal things that they did. But this man ain't canceled student debt. And I'm saying, if you really want to win, it's almost like, it's like they don't want to do the obvious things. You cannot win unless you protect voting rights. Duh. You cannot win unless you actually do something for the people who elected you. Duh. I'm just tired of all these people who look at us and say, well, we should stand by Joe Biden in a way. Houseway, in what universe should we just stand by the most powerful person in the world as if he's like some impotent granddad and just be, oh, that's just Papa Joe. You know, he moves a little slow. He couldn't get to the voting rights in 2021 and he's getting to it now. And they want us to just be happy with the fact that he's simply talking about it and he ain't done nary a thing yet.
But wait, did we get money under Joe?
I don't
remember check. I remember a check from last year from Joe.
He had a toe.
If you didn't have kids,
he had a toe in the White House. He had a toe in the White House. If you didn't have kids,
you didn't get no check.
Yeah, he had a toe in the White House. I didn't get a check, but he had a toe in the White House at the time that he said we was gonna get a certain amount of money. But that's okay because the 2000 became 14. You know, and so to me that wasn't a win for us because at the end of the day, if you don't think the people of America does, first of all, you didn't even give us what you promised when it came to our student loans that you kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Push it. Yeah, when you kept doing that, nothing. We were literally saying, girl, I'm about to be debt free. New house, who this?
Right.
We're about to be like that. And we did not get any of it. We didn't get any of it. And here's my problem with that, and we're going to go ahead and take it to the after party. We cannot live off of a hope and a dream from a white man. We can't do that. We can't do that. It's affecting us all. These kind of promises, they have holes in them. And you guys who are Democrats and, you know, liberals and whatever you want to, you know, call yourself these days, you know, you can't get upset for people that are holding them accountable. You can't fight us for saying, okay, but why now? And what do you plan to do? Can we get that in writing? Can we get that in some kind of law form? Can you go confront Joe Manchin, Kirsten Sinema? Can you go do those things? We need to see it because that's the way that we can believe it. And if, you know, you can't, all you guys who follow them and are stands for them, you can't get upset with us for holding them accountable. And asking where they've been all this time, what's they changed their mind, how can we move forward and having true trust in them?
Right. Can we get it in some writing?
Praise God for Jesus.
That's perfect. Can we get it in writing, Joe, as in a law? If we can get it in as a law, then you're gonna be one step cooler. But listen, I want to be sure this is the other game they play, and I know we gotta go to the after party. They lower your expectations so far, so much. We started off thinking we were going to change. We're going to get, not me, I'm going to be honest with you, not most of us, none of us on this show. We were very sober. The way you said it, Rebecca, we voted for Joe Biden because we knew Donald Trump would be immeasurably worse. Let's just be clear. Yeah. There's a lot of people who died this year from the pandemic. There would have been even more who died if Donald Trump was still in office because he's the one who set all this massacre in line. Like the deaths are a result of what Donald Trump did. That said, what has Joe Biden done for us, y'all? What has he done? And we have to be honest. No, he's not Donald Trump. Thank God we don't have Donald Trump in office right now. But what you're not going to do is lower our expectations so much that when they finally do something on voting rights, everybody's going to act like it's the biggest celebration, the biggest victory. No, baby, that's the baseline. That's the very minimum. You don't get a pat on the back for getting my right protected to vote for another Democrat in the next election. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for measurable, tangible, material benefits for Black folks and liberated folks all around this globe. So I don't want I don't want them to do this thing where they beat us down so much or our expectations are so low that we're going to be celebrating when they finally do something on voting rights.
Papa.
Anyway, after party.
Run me my money, Joe.
Run me my money, Joe.
Run me my money, Joe. All right.
Joe,
run me my money, Joe.
We got the people depressed,
Joe.
I love you so much. They don't really want anything, Joe. They don't even want student loans canceled anymore, Joe.
Hey, Joe, I'm just gonna act like I'm jogging, and when you win, I'm just gonna call you on the phone and say, Joe, we did it, Joe. It's all staged, but we did it, Joe.
Do not come.
We're going to talk about Kamala Harris a
Why
little
does
bit
she
in the
bounce
after
her
party.
head like that? But we'll talk about her in the after party. I love you guys so much. Make sure you guys are tuning in tomorrow if you're not headed over to the after party, which you all should be, okay? But if you're not, make sure you become a Patreon on patreon.com/like it or not. Y'all
said
tomorrow.
that?
I love you, mean it.
Love y'all, mean it.
All right, B.
All right, y'all. We are heading over to the after party. Shout out to B. We will see y'all over there, man. Hey, shout out to everybody that joined us this morning. And if you are not on the Patreon yet, you can go to patreon.com/likeitnornot or patreon.com/the BPD. I have so much trouble saying. Go ahead, become a Patreon. Get the likes up, get the sets up, all that good stuff, and get all this access, man. We love y'all. We mean it. We will see y'all tomorrow. Shout out Marsha Reese in Industrial Arts. What's going on, y'all? And also, your affirmation for today is, I can feel my body growing stronger, and I am grateful I never give up. I can feel my body growing stronger, and I am grateful I never give up. All right, y'all. Y'all be great. We're going to take y'all out. Come to mama.
Just come to mama. Come on. Just come to mama. She'll take care of all of your drama. Baby boy. Just come to mama. She's gonna make it alright. She doesn't always feel like she's a queen, but you better not forget it. So bend the knee.
And David better stop cutting my stream before I do my affirmation inside on. God damn. David be cutting that shit so quick. Okay. Oh, he just cut it now. Okay, I was about to say, damn, David.
So boy, don't you cry.
All right, David, love you. And y'all see that stream.
Just come to mama. Come on. Just come to mama. She'll take care.